So how do you know what to look for in a good franchisee? There are many key characteristics and skills that franchisors look for, and these are some to give you a bit of a head start. First and foremost, franchisors look for passion. Franchisees need to be driven and passionate about the product or service that they're looking at. They need to be system orientated with a partnership mentality. You will have spent a lot of time and money developing, refining and testing your brand and business systems. So you don't want people that are going to come along and try and reinvent the wheel. Now, while it may sound a bit strange, a good franchisee should understand franchising. That is that they know they're part of something bigger. We have a prospective franchisee certificate similar to this that really sets out the realities of franchising for them. In most franchise businesses, good people and communication skills are going to be really important. It may seem obvious, but as a franchisee, they may need to manage staff. They're going to need to build trust and motivate a team. And in any business, franchising or not, there is going to be a need for some element of sales skill. One of the most important traits of a good franchisee is their attitude. There is no avoiding hard work in franchising. So you want that won't quit mindset in your franchisees. And a good question, one that we talk about a lot in franchising, is whether entrepreneurs will make good franchisees. In the early stages, when you're building up and recruiting your first few franchisees, you're probably going to want ones that are more entrepreneurial, but you need to make sure that they're going to follow a system. Now, franchisees, once you get them on board, will go through a life cycle. Right at the beginning, they'll be baby childlike, with a lot of hand-holding dependency on you to help support them and get them up and running. Then they'll go through a bit of an adolescent phase where they think they know more than you do. But you will reach that mutual beneficial stage that we talk about as adulthood, where you and the franchisee are both working side by side, hand in hand, and all is well. But then you're going to get to the stage where they reach that senior citizen sort of phase. They're happy, they've got everything that they set out to achieve, but you're going to want them to keep driving the business forward. And that may be where you start looking at renewals. Now, where can you attract franchisees to your business? There are multiple different trade magazines that all carry advertising and case studies, and they often have websites and e-shots and all sorts of stuff that support their printed platforms. There's the Franchise Magazine, Business Franchise, Franchise World, What Franchise, and Elite as well. You can also advertise online. There's lots of websites available, including our own. But you've also got social media, which is coming much more topical, and you can start putting out messages of what franchisees do so that people can read up much more about you before they come and see you. Then you have the BFA accredited franchise exhibitions in these different locations around the UK. They provide a fantastic opportunity for you as a franchisor to speak en masse to prospective franchisees. We took some time to visit one of those shows. I'm here at the National Franchise Exhibition in Birmingham. This is a great place for you to start your research if you're looking to franchise a business. You can spend time with the banks, with franchise solicitors, and with consultants that can help you on your journey to franchising your business. Whilst at the exhibitions, you can attend our 1-hour seminars. They're a really good opportunity for you to find out whether franchising is right for your business. We have a franchise solicitor, a franchise consultant, and a franchisor that can share the realities of how it worked for them when they went down the process that you're looking into. Going on from that, we have full-day seminars which will give you a wider overview of whether franchising is the right route for expanding your business.
My name's Tracy Shah and I'm a director at Venture Marketing Group. We run the UK's only BFA accredited franchise exhibitions. If you're thinking about franchising your business, the exhibitions are really a must-attend event. Come and visit our free seminars about how to start your franchising journey. Meet with BFA accredited consultants and of course the BFA itself. The franchise exhibitions are a great way to find out more about what everyone else is doing in the marketplace, how to structure your franchise package, what training and support to offer, and what's involved in the process. Ultimately, once you've started your franchise journey, franchisee recruitment will be an integral part of your success. What better place to recruit franchisees than at a BFA accredited franchise exhibition? If you would like to find out more about the franchise exhibitions, please visit our website franchiseinfo.co.uk. Let's hear what some of our franchisors think about the exhibitions.
We have a full-time recruitment expert who works for us, and we find with all our e-shots that we do on multiple platforms and then coming to the 4 VMG shows a year, we work them two together. We find it's our best way of recruiting because potential franchisees can come to a neutral environment, meet you first, and then if they feel comfortable with you and you feel comfortable with them, we find they're much more comfortable to come down to head office to a discovery day. So the shows and all our media platforms that we're on, working together with eShots, is our best recruitment tool we found over 15 years of recruiting franchisees.
These shows really, they're the icing on the cake. Obviously the world has changed now. There's a lot of social media. A lot of people look at the websites, so often people know all about the opportunities and know all about your business. But they come along here to enforce all the stuff they've seen on social media and on the web. And some of the conversations here are key to recruiting first-class franchisees for us.
This module focuses on franchisee recruitment. We're going to be specifically looking at the franchisee selection and recruitment process. Firstly, franchisee selection. So why would someone decide to become a franchisee of your brand? And what is the ideal franchisee profile? Okay, so why would a person decide to become a franchisee of your brand? Even secretly, doesn't everybody want to be their own boss? Do you fear being at the mercy of an employer or redundancy? Do you resent having no control over your work-life balance? Are you bored of what you're doing? Or do you want the opportunity to earn a lot more money? These are typical questions that any potential franchisee will be thinking when they're looking for a franchise. However, do you have your own idea for a great business? Do you have the confidence to go it alone? Do you have lots of industry experience but actually no business experience? Again, common questions posed by any potential franchisee. So do you like the idea of having your own business based on a proven system with lots of training, ongoing support and a network of people who are just like you? And that is the spirit of franchising. Okay, let's look at the profile of a good franchisee. Franchisors will be looking for A-star franchisees. So we'll typically ask a number of key qualifying questions. Have they bought into your values and ethics? Will they follow your system? Do they have any previous business or franchising experience? That's a bonus. Do they have strong business development and networking skills? Let's face it, in all businesses today, you need to have the ability to talk to people about your business and network. Can they build teams? If it's a business that does require teams to maximise the business in the territory, then that's going to be an important attribute. What skills and qualifications must they have versus what skills and qualifications can you teach them? And how long will it actually take for you to teach them these additional skills and qualifications? And do they know their local market? Or are they taking a leap of faith into a new market, a new territory where they don't have any contacts or existing knowledge? Okay, let's look at the franchisee recruitment process. In this section, we're going to be looking at application forms, interviewing, references, the deposit process, the business plan process, and finally, misrepresentation of figures. Okay, so let's look at the recruitment process. So you've sent the initial franchise information to a prospect once they've inquired. That will either be by email, perhaps they've downloaded a prospectus from your website, or you've sent a hard copy prospectus through the post. You will follow that up naturally with a telephone call, at which point you will be asking some key qualifying questions to the prospect to find out their suitability to your franchise and why they're interested in your franchise. After that conversation, you will normally send them an initial interest form. That's a quick snapshot of their background, which territory they're looking at, how they intend to fund the business, and a little bit about their interests. Once you've got that back, it would be normal to send them an NDA, a confidentiality agreement, at which point you can then start to share financial and more detailed information about your franchise system. Once you have that back, you would then normally arrange a discovery session. Now that can take the form of a one-to-one coffee and chat, it can take the form of a group discovery session, or it could be a day event or just a couple of hours. The point of a discovery session is for both you and the potential franchisee to learn more about each other, to share as much information as you can about the franchise system, to show what good looks like and often to meet a potential franchisee. If both parties are interested in chatting further after a discovery session, then it would be normal to send them a more detailed application form. And on this application form, you go into a lot more detail in terms of references, credit checks. Often, if it's working in an industry where there's vulnerability with children and adults, there would be CRB checks. And often you would ask for a statement of assets and liabilities to prove that that potential franchisee has the ability to fund and grow their business. Finally, you would move to the deposit stage. Okay, let's talk about the deposit stage. So somebody would pay a deposit when they're keen to move forward. You've approved them as a good potential franchisee, and they would pay normally £2,000 to £3,000 deposit, normally about £5,000 for some of the higher investment franchises, in return for you reserving the territory for them for a minimum of 2 to 3 months. During that period, this will give them time to go away and prepare their business plan and secure their funding. That deposit is normally fully refundable, minus any reasonable expenses such as legal, travel, or any third-party costs, for example, property agents that might have been engaged, or third parties to help with business plans and support. Okay, let's talk about the business plan. This is one of the most difficult parts for potential franchisees throughout the recruitment process. Let's face it, no one likes preparing a business plan, and often many people have never prepared a business plan before. So it's your job as a franchisor to give them a template and direction on how that business plan should be completed, but not actually to prepare it for them, because you're looking for them to prove to you that they understand the model in their local market, they've done their local market research, they know their competitors, and they know how they're going to roll out their business on a local level. Now, there are third parties such as Franchise Finance and some others who will help to prepare the business plans in return for a fee that the prospect can engage themselves. Okay, let's look at our final topic, which is misrepresentation, and this is a very hot topic in franchising. So one of the first questions you will be asked by a potential franchisee is, how much money can I make? Show me the figures of other franchisees. So you've got to be very careful what you actually provide to potential franchisees. You can provide actual P&Ls of actual franchisees. You can provide a projections model to show the rationale behind your particular franchise model and system. However, what you can't do is say this is what you will make as a franchisee, because there are so many variables around the performance of franchisees, such as how proactive they are to following the system, their mix of their overheads, the mix of the products and services, price points, the size of their team, and so on. So when providing any figures at all to potential franchisees, it's vital that you put the relevant disclaimers on the bottom of these figures to say what these figures are based on. So is it an actual franchisee trading for 1 year with a staffing structure of a certain amount of people, and so on? Or is it just based on a number of key sort of assumptions that then need to be validated by the franchisee? Which brings me on to the last point. You must always ask your potential franchisee to prepare their own set of projections based on their own local market research. So they need to go away and validate the assumptions with their own local market research, and often ask their accountants to help validate their assumptions. So that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour to franchisee selection and recruitment. I hope that was useful. Thank you.
So we are very organic with our recruitment process. Many of our franchisees come from our classes having experienced for themselves the business firsthand as customers. We advertise all over the place depending on what we're trying to achieve. So we are having a lot of fun at the moment with social media, with a particular campaign that we're doing, and we will also use hard copy print. We've been involved in YouTube videos. Whatever we think is appropriate to the audience we're trying to reach at that time, we'll try and use as part of our recruitment strategy. We've had a number of franchisees recently come to us having done the prospective franchisee certificate online with BFA, and they've been really excited about what that's taught them, and we're looking at making that mandatory going forwards as part of our application process. Our recruitment process follows a very strict format, right the way from initial conversations between our head office team and the prospective franchisees, and allowing the prospective franchisee to talk to other franchisees in the network. Then we have very informal first meetings, leading on to more formal type business presentations, and then ultimately the consideration of an offer of a franchise. Franchisees have to wear many hats at Monkey Music. One day they may be press officer, the next administrator, finance manager, ops manager, but ultimately at the heart of every single Monkey Music franchisee is the belief in what they're doing and what the service that they're offering to their customer. So the belief in the value of music and education.
Attracting new franchisees to the business is an interesting challenge. Having franchised for quite a while and brought on a number of franchisees, the areas that people come from are wide and various. So we do the best to advertise and promote the business through websites, through various different media. I think our own website is a clear frame of reference for a lot of people. Every single franchisee will have looked at our website, so we spend a lot of time and effort developing our own website, telling our story through the website, but I think there's a lot of different media that's required, particularly in this new age of social media and all this type of thing, where an online presence is still really important. At the end of the day, it's really important to meet people, so you've got to get in front of people at some point, because nobody would buy or sell a franchise normally without seeing somebody, so that's an important part of the process. Specifically, we advertise on websites, franchise-specific websites, in magazines. We've done exhibitions over the years. There's a whole variety of areas that we advertise on, and we continue to look at it because there is a really strong online presence now. An open day for prospective franchisees is a really important part of the process. We carry out open days on a one-to-one because we want to get to know the particular person that is looking at us, and we're looking at them as well, because it's very much about finding a fit. On the open day, they get to see various parts of the business, not just the technical side, but also the business side, how we support them. They look at the different departments, and at the same time, we're looking at the individual to see if they fit our model and our values, really, because those are the things, I believe, if we get the right fit with our values, that will drive their business forward. A recent addition to our franchisee process has been to use the prospective franchisee certificate. We find that it's useful to give people an overview about franchising, because even though being involved in franchising, I understand the values of it, I still feel that people in the UK aren't that familiar with franchising. To such an extent that we actually use this for all new staff as well that come to work at Revive. They go through the same process, and it helps with their induction and give them an overview of franchising. The recruitment process for new franchisees is fairly detailed, and there are a number of steps along the way. In the first instance, it's understanding how interested they are in Revive and giving them information to learn whether this is something that they would be interested in doing. Once they've shown a desire and an interest in the sector, we then invite them to an open day where we're looking to find a much greater fit in terms of, do they fit into what we're looking for with our values. There are a number of steps along the way. All the time we're focused on trying to get a fit with our business, because if we find that fit, we know that in a few years' time the people will be happy with what they're doing, and the financial results will come with that. The key attributes that we look for in a franchisee are really around personal skills. It's not whether somebody can paint, it's not whether somebody has run a business, it's around, have the people got the drive and determination, the customer service values that we're looking for. Those two things in themselves, drive and determination, to overcome the daily challenges, to be able to deliver on customer service and really deliver on customer service, we feel are essential to our business.
So to attract franchisees, I suppose there's a couple of things we do. Firstly, we do advertise. Secondly, we have a nice, strong website. And thirdly, we have a good word of mouth process. And by this I mean, typically, people that we've trained in the past come to us and say, I didn't realise you were a franchise, can I have a conversation about it? So we advertise in a few places. On Online, particularly on franchise directories, also on the BFA, that brings us a lot of leads. We also have our own website and our social media from that. We do email blasts, and also we do a few exhibitions. Yes, we do open days. In our business, we feel they're a really important way that the potential franchisee can get a glimpse in what they would be doing once they opened an office. They sort of get a window into particularly the new business part of what we do, and we always ask, can you imagine yourself doing this? So yes, we do attend exhibitions sometimes. We tend to pick the cities where the demographic of the people attending are the sort of people that would buy a franchise from us. We will have a decent stand, and we will have a qualification process to go through of the people we talk to, and a very strong follow-up. I think that's the bit people can miss out sometimes. Our recruitment process, or in Sandler words, we actually call it a mutual evaluation process. It's quite complex, but we're really looking for the right person who's going to be successful in Sandler, and they have to be looking to see, does our business help them hit their goals and dreams? It starts with pre-qualification calls, there's open days, and then there's qualification face-to-face afterwards. We can add up our key attributes for Sandler in one word: success. They need to have been successful in their past life, whatever that was, and want it again. If they've had that, we know they could be the right person for us.
My top tips for the 10 franchisees is really quality, quality, quality. That's the number one thing we look for. I suppose friendliness, approachableness, driven, ambitious, generally want to care for people, generally want to put the people first. If you put the people first, then everything really seems to come in. That's what we've proven many times over, so that's really what I want to say: quality, quality, quality.
In terms of our franchising recruitment, we're looking for people who will be long-term partners with us. So we're not looking for people who are going to be in for a few years. We're looking at someone we can trust, someone we actually like, and someone that will work with us, not against us. So it's really effectively same as if you're going into a marriage to some extent. You're looking for a partner you believe you can be with for a number of years, and a long number of years, someone that you can trust. The second thing that we do is make sure that we are right for the person. Because although it's a big investment in our time, it's an even bigger investment for the franchisee. Because if they make the wrong decision, that could end up costing them a lot of money and a lot of time. So we categorically make sure that we are right for the franchisee. My top tips on recruiting franchisees are, firstly, is that person going to be the right fit for you in terms of culture, in terms of interest in the business? For example, if you had a car franchise, is that person interested in cars? If they're not interested in cars, they'll probably find the business hard work. So the second top tip, is that person a self-starter? That is, although you provide a system to the person, will they make things happen? In franchising, we can teach someone how to fish, but we can't do the fishing for them. So, my third top tip is make sure they're a team player. If they want to be totally independent, then franchising isn't right for them. They must be part of the team. They've got to make things happen, but they've got to be part of the team. And my fourth top tip to look for is mindset. Have they got the right mindset to run their own business? Because there will be ups and downs during the journey, and it's those downs where they've got to have the right mindset to overcome the downs and get through it. So they're my 4 top tips.